So I welcome you all again. Thank you for joining us. For the topic today, we will be covering is a sustainable and eco-friendly material. We're talking about agri-bio panels, and we have Shruti with us. I will introduce you to her. Can we move on to the next slide for the introduction? Yeah, so this is me, Samruddhi. I am the host for Akihive, and Shriti is with us. Shriti Pandey. She's an expert for today, and she's the founder and CEO of Structure Eco. So she has been a TEDx speaker. She's won several accolades. She's also been an honoree of Forbes 30 under 30, and there is a lot more to her accolades. I think we will understand a lot about her during the presentation. Also, if there are any questions regarding the presentation or anything otherwise regarding her profession, you can always put in the questions in the chat and we will address all of them. Let's move on to the topic. Can we go? Yeah, so before we dive into the topic for today, let me give you a little introduction about the platform, our platform, Akihive. So we are a platform where you can discover materials, understand materials, buy materials. You can connect with other professionals. Apart from that, just like today, we do a lot of talk series. We do design talks, we do material talks, and this all is available on our YouTube channel. Previously, we have done event. We have spoken about minimalism. We have covered interior lighting with an expert. We've covered a sustainable material called Earth Block. So yeah, that's us. You can always follow us. And this will be the flow for today. We will go deep dive into this material, agri-bio panels with Shriti. We will understand the composition, the application areas, her hands-on experience with this material, her projects. She will run us through her projects. We will obviously be, yes, covering about the sustainability, the eco-friendly material. We'll talk about that. And like I mentioned, ask the expert. So we are open for your questions always. So over to you, Shriti.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. So I'll start with the name of the company itself, which is Structure Eco. I'm the founder and CEO of Structure Eco. We started it in June 2018. And as you can see, the word is made up of two other words, which is straw and structure. And I'd like to put some context to these two words individually and then how do structure exist at the intersection of both. India is the largest producer of straw in the world, by which I mean 500 million metric ton of straw. Now, straw is any byproduct of a cereal crop. It can be paddy straw, wheat, sugarcane bagasse, cotton, hemp, soya stalk, maize, cassava in Africa, any fibrous crops, and these are mostly cereal crops, so these are staple crops. When they are grown, they have a byproduct, which in most parts of the world globally has no value. And India produces the maximum amount of it, 500 million metric ton, which to visualize, if you think of a Lord's cricket stadium, which most of us might have seen on the TV, we can cover a Lord's cricket stadium 70,000 times if we cover it with this straw. That's the amount of straw India produces on an annual basis. And out of that straw, around 40% of it is burnt, which has extremely zero value after using straw for fodder, throwing it away, using it in the houses, using it for low cost fuel, using it for high end fuel by some government entities after all sort of possible application. When there is no value left or usage, 40%, which amounts to around 200 million metric ton of the straw is burnt. And the major states where this happens is Punjab, UP, and Haryana, which together comprise more than 30% of the burning alone of wheat and paddy crop. So that's straw. And structures is the other component of the name of our company. Now, buildings, as we all know, are the pedestal, are the cornerstone of any country's economy. You cannot grow your economy without building the infrastructure. Now, every time a building is made, there are two types of carbon footprint that is generated. One is embodied and another is operational. The operational carbon footprint of a building is the footprint that is there during the usage of the building. So let's say it's energy, the amount of appliances that we use in a building, cooling, heating. And embodied carbon footprint is the footprint that is locked in a building at its design stage. which means the audience that is here right now in this conversation, architects, interior designers, builders, who decide what kind of material goes into making any sort of a structure, decides how much embodied carbon footprint a building will have. And currently, according to global standards, in a building, 10% of the footprint is embodied, 90 is operational. So it seems like it's less and we shouldn't be concerned. But the problem is that by 2050, this 10% is going to become 90%, which means 90% of the footprint of any building globally will be embodied and not operational, because we are doing a lot of work on operational carbon footprint. We are moving towards clean energy, but we are not doing the same amount of work at that pace for embodied carbon footprint. And that's where structure comes in, where we have a green building material that is made out of a waste of another industry, which is agriculture. And we finally have a completely 100% carbon negative product, which when used stores carbon and helps a building to decarbonize its footprint. That's the picture of an agri-bio panel. It has a very wheatish texture. It is made out of straw. So how do we make these panels? The process, the manufacturing of these panels is similar to how you manufacture ply, which means that we collect straw from the farmers. We usually convert it into bales, circular bales, using a baler machine before it can be burnt on the field by a farmer. And then it is brought to a factory, which is less than 50 kilometers from the source of the raw material, which is straw, which is an important point here. Because if we look at the LEED and the GREHA requirements of a green building, it often says that the fundamental logic of a green material is that it has to be very close to where it's being manufactured. We shouldn't be building the raw material from another country too far off, because even that adds to the footprint. And that's one USP of our product in its manufacturing step itself, that our material never travels more than 50 kilometers from the source to the factory, where then it is converted. What we do, we collect all the straw. Now straw comes from different farms, which means they have different moisture content. So we reduce the moisture content and make all the straw have a very standard moisture content of between 4 to 5%. Then we take 96% of the straw by weight. 4% we add a proprietary resin. Now this is a resin which has the least amount of formaldehyde content in it. This is not urea formaldehyde or melamine formaldehyde. And then we mix 4% of this resin and we compress it at a very high temperature and pressure, a temperature above of 200 degrees centigrade. And even to generate that heat and to make that machine work, to apply that pressure, we don't use fossil fuels. We actually burn the same straw to generate the fuel. And then we finally have an agri-bio panel, which is a compressed panel made out of straw. And we manufacture these panels in sizes of 10 by 6 and 13 by 6. Our press is a bigger press. It's actually the biggest press in the world. Nobody makes a 13 by 6 size of a panel besides us. And finally, what you have is a completely carbon negative panel. Here, I would like to pause and actually explain what I mean when I say carbon negative, because we hear a lot of words such as passive houses, carbon neutral houses. What does carbon negative mean? So in the total life cycle of a product in a building material, which means the source of the raw material, from where it is traveling to the factory, the way it is manufactured, how it is utilized, does it use a lot of energy in its application, does it need a lot of water, and finally how it is disposed of. That total life cycle of a product decides the LCA. We do a life cycle analysis, and then you get to know what is the footprint of any product. And every material has a footprint: brick, cement, plasterboard, wood, our agri-bio panels, concrete. And the footprint that agri-bio panels has is in minus. It is minus 0.62, which means that every square feet of these panels store carbon dioxide instead of emitting it. Second, these panels are fire resistant. Now, this is a feature that I often get questioned about, because for most of us, the basic understanding is that we see straw being burnt in the field, where you see it being easily burnt with just a matchstick. And that is true. But what happens in the manufacturing stage is that a lot of us don't know that straw actually has a lot of silica content in it. Besides cellulose and lignin, it has silica. And silica is a natural fire retardant. So when we compress these panels at a very high temperature and pressure, that silica helps making these panels fire retardant. And we have gotten the testing done from Ipirti, Gujarat Test House, and we have achieved up to 2-hour fire rating for our panels, which is the maximum requirement according to the National Building Code. So we don't add any extra chemical, no chemical that has high VOC emission to make it fire resistant. It is resistant by its own inherent raw material. Thirdly, we add chemical to the straw to make it termite proof, because straw, similar to wood, is a sister fiber, which means any cellulose based fiber is prone to termite. And similar to good brands of ply and MDF manufacturers, we mix the chemical to make our panels anti-termite, and we also give warranty against it. Our panels are moisture resistant. We have 2 grades of panel. One is low moisture resistant, another is high moisture resistant. So you can choose, do you want to use the panel in a dry area or a wet area? Fourth, our panels also have high acoustic value. And this again is because of the natural features of straw. Because straw is a natural insulator like wood when it comes to sound or it comes to thermal insulation. So when we compress these panels and we reduce the density further by doing perforation, slats, and grooving, we have a very high performing acoustic panel. We have got it tested from a government lab. I'll mention the test at the end of the presentation, where we have achieved an NRC of 0.7 minimum just from the panel. So it's not the system, but just the 12 panel achieves a high sound insulation value. Lastly, of course, these panels are, as I mentioned, very low in toxicity, and all our panels are E1 certified. E1, E0, E2, for those people who do not know in the audience, is a metric to understand how much is the formaldehyde content in any material. It could be paint, it could be engineered wood, it could be agri-bio panel, or even textile and fabrics for that matter. And in our panels, we have E1 certification. Only 10% building material in India E1 certified. 90% are E2, which means they have much more formaldehyde content. And one feature that is not mentioned here is thermal insulation, because that is one feature that by default straw has. Straw is one of the oldest building material actually that can be used. And that is the reason when I saw stubble burning happening in 2017, I realized that if not for any other feature, we can compress the straw and make good thermally insulated panels. But during the R&D stage, we realized that there's a lot more value to straw besides being thermally insulated. And that's where we have a much more holistic building material. But our panels have a thermal conductivity value of 0.0262, which is far less than a lot of competitive building material. For reference, brick has a thermal conductivity value of 1, and ours is 0.0262. So that's the features of AgriBio panel.
So
now, sorry, yes.
So this is one of the questions from our registered members for the event. I would really like you to address it.
Sure. So how do AgriBio panel react to different climatic conditions? So I'm glad somebody has asked this question, because when I started the company in 2018, that was my main concern as well, that it might work in Delhi, but does it work in the diverse climate that India has, specifically being a tropical country? So what we did the very first year of starting out is, instead of focusing on one particular customer, one particular segment, we actually chose to do a lot of small projects with various kind of client and stakeholders, which were distributed all over India, which is the reason that in just less than 3 years, we have buildings in Northeast, Orissa, Bihar, Chennai, Bangalore, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Delhi, in different states, almost covering as difficult and as much possible climatic condition where this material is used. Our panels are very viable to be used in high monsoon climatic conditions. We have used it in Chennai. We have used it to build a hospital in Bihar, which is high monsoon prone state where there's often flood. This has been used in Bhuj, which is an earthquake zone 5 location. We are currently using it in Nagaland and Manipur, which is also a high earthquake prone region, and we have been recommended by the government of India to use this material. So overall, my response to this question is that we have tested it for various climatic conditions: extreme heat, extreme cold, moisture, high monsoon, and it has worked well for the applications that it has in various parts of the country. Do we have to take any special care? So I will answer this question using the next slide, which is where I explain the application. And based on the application, I'll mention if there is any special care that we have to take. So these panels, as I mentioned, comes in 3 grades. We manufacture them in 3 different varieties. One is called basic, then high density, and then premium. The 2 basic difference in all of these 3 panel is the density. That means how much do you compress it? Because the more density it has, it will have much more screw holding capacity, much more breaking load, that is its strength in megapascal. And thirdly, the more it is compressed, the more silica is secreted, which also explains the fire rating of the panel. So that are the 3 features. So our lowest density is 700 kg per cubic meter, which for reference is the density of a medium density fiber board. So all our panels have strength and durability of a medium density fiber board. Then we have HD grade, which is 800 kg per cubic meter, which is the density of a high density fiber board. And then we lastly have 820 plus going up to 900 kg per cubic meter, which is the range in which ply and fiber cement board lies. So overall, we have 3 range starting from medium density to high density, and then exterior applications such as fiber cement board strength. Accordingly, the screw holding capacity. As I mentioned, the fire rating also goes up. So if you need to use the panel in an exterior part of the building or in a high traffic zone space, like let's say a hospital or a warehouse where there is an electric room or a server room, we would recommend you to go for a high density or a premium panel. If you're only using the panel for furniture and interior applications such as cabinet and shelving, then you can just use the basic panel. Now, for instance, if you use an MDF or you use a ply, you don't get fire rating in your commercial grade ply. You don't get it in your boiling waterproof ply. You have to pay extra out of your pocket for a fire rated ply to get that fire rating. But even our basic panel have a minimum 45 minutes rating, which means that any application has some amount of safety in it, which makes it far more durable. These are the 5 applications of our panels. Drywall. We do all sort of partition using these panels in dry area and wet area. We make doors out of these panels, basic doors such as flush doors, as well as fireproof doors, because as I mentioned, we have a very good fire rating. Thirdly, we use it for ceilings. We use these panels for acoustic application. So you can make an acoustic panel on your existing brick wall. You can do double skin acoustic wall. We can do acoustic ceiling, acoustic baffle, acoustic cloud. Any sort of acoustic application can be done. Even furniture made out of our panels on a comparative level have better sound absorption capacity. Fifth is mezzanine flooring. So in various offices and warehouses where there is a steel frame and you need to do a raised flooring, directly on the steel frame, instead of pouring a 4-inch concrete, end user and architect can recommend to use our panels, and our 25 and 30 panel can be screwed on top of the steel frame, and that can take a decent amount of load. The minimum point load that the panel and the steel frame can together take is 500 kg. For instance, according to the IS code, the minimum point load that an office flooring or a mezzanine flooring should take is at least 200 to 300 kgs. So we are well above that standard. So even if you have a small warehouse where, let's say, you have a forklift that has to move on the walkway, even that load can be taken. And I'll later show pictures of the projects where we have used this. And lastly, our 12, 9, and 18 panels can be used for making any sort of furniture. So those are the 6 applications of our panels. Starting from 9 thickness, it goes up to 35. So 9, 10, 12, 11, 17, 18, 25, 30, 35. Those are the thicknesses of our panels, and all thicknesses are available in all the 3 grade. And all our panels are available in 3 basic type, which is raw finish, that that is like a raw panel. Then one side laminated. You can do pre-lamination on a panel similar to particle board, MDF, and other few engineered panels, and both side laminated. So we have in-house capability to give pre-laminated panels. And if not, then you can just use a raw panel and do different kind of finishes on it, which I'll show in different projects. So what I'm going to do next is, because as I said, there are 6 applications, I'll take with using 2 to 3 slides you through each of the application, the different finishes you can do in the applications, and also different projects and locations where this application has been used. So drywall is one of our main application, where either a 9 mm or a 12 mm panel is used, either basic grade, HD grade. In some places such as warehouses and server rooms and electrical rooms, you can also use the premium grade. You can get a basic drywall, you can do fire rated drywall, as well as you can do an acoustic fire drywall. And all our drywall in general are thermally insulated, way more than any other drywall made out of plasterboard, fiber cement board, or other panels such as MDF or ply. So that is an inherent quality of straw. So you get thermal insulation no matter what grade. If you want to up your acoustics and fire rating, then you can choose between the different grades. The second value of a panel being used for partition is what I mentioned earlier, is we have a very big panel. That means it is 13 by 6 or 10 by 6. Because what we realized when we started the company is that in India, often the clear height from the floor to the ceiling is not 8 feet, which is the case in Europe and North America. But in India, it's actually minimum 10 feet. In warehouses, it can go anywhere up to 50. Some high ceiling offices even have 12 feet, 13 feet height. So what happens when you use an 8 by 4 sheet is there are unnecessary joints, and later that joints create a lot of crack, which is one of the biggest issue with drywall material. So our bigger panels give a much more seamless finish to an architect and a designer. It reduces the time of installation easily by 20 to 30% from a standard drywall. And if you compare it with brick, then definitely 50%. And because our panel's width is 6 feet instead of 4, when you're using the framing material, instead of putting it at a spacing of 2 feet, you can put it at 3 feet, which is the center point of our panel. And then in a large scale project, even that 1 feet difference is a big difference. And overall, you can save anywhere between 50 to 20% in your framing cost. So those are the additional benefit of using a panel than any other basic panel that is just used for partition. You're getting better performance, saving your time, reducing wastage, and also reducing your framing cost. Now, when I come to finishes, you can do any sort of finish on your panels. There's no compromise and limitation. You can get a pre-laminated panel, which is the first picture that you see. This was a project done in Bikaner, which is an extremely heat state. Like the temperature there on an average goes up to 45, even 50 degree centigrade. They used our panels there in a couple of buildings. The other picture is from a regular office in Bangalore. The last picture, which has decks and benches, is from a school where we did putty paint finish that you do regularly on a gypsum wall or a fiber cement wall. So you can do paint, you can do pre-lamination, you can do veneer, you can plaster as well on these walls. So this painted wall that you see, it was actually first plastered. And then on top of the plaster, like any regular brick wall, we did putty paint finish. So all sort of basic finishes that you want from a brick wall or a partition wall is possible. The second application the second is this again a picture of partition. One of the pictures is from the partition. This is again a pre-laminated partition picture from a hospital in Jalandhar in Punjab called Batra Hospital. It's a private hospital. And during COVID last year, they immediately wanted to increase the capacity. So they built an additional 6,000 square feet hospital. And all the interior partition, interior cladding of the exterior brick wall, false ceiling, and all the doors were done using the AgriBio panels. The first picture that you see is of the ceilings that we did for them, which are 2x2 wooden finish pre-laminated ceiling. This client had a specific requirement that they don't have the time. As I said, they wanted to finish the whole building in less than a month, the interior. So we suggested not to spend more time on painting, and instead we'll give them the finished panels, both for walls as well as ceilings. As I mentioned already, ceilings is the second application. This is a picture of a project called Heritage International School. It is an international school based out of Gurgaon. It's a chain of international school all over NCR. It's based out of phase 2 in DLF. And this client came to us with a mandate saying that they want their multi-purpose hall and their library to be soundproof so that they can do different performances. And they also want the finish of the whole hall to have a combination of fabric and wooden look. So what we offered to them was suspended ceiling tiles on an MS frame that you can see, because just as a basic knowledge, if you're ever trying to increase the sound absorption of your building, it's always recommended to have suspended tiles of any sort of material, because when it is suspended, it is better in absorbing low frequency sound. So we offered them that solution. On a raw panel, we did the wooden laminate from Merino. That was the specification of the architect. And then we did their dry walls. So the second picture that you see here is from the library. All the false ceiling here is done using our 9mm panels on a GI framing. And the shelving that you see again is our panels with a laminate on top of it. The client for the library didn't wanted the wooden finish. They actually wanted to go with the raw finish in some space and then a putty paint in another, because they wanted the kids and the parents to actually know how the building looks and the fact that they're using a green material. So, we gave them the raw feature. The last picture, as you can see, is of the MS frame to which the panel is screwed. I've put this photo intentionally because this is again one of the USP of a panel over gypsum, which is the most go-to product when it comes to partition and ceiling, is that with gypsum you can only do GI framing, because the structural stability of gypsum doesn't allow you to use steel screw and other sort of screw that have to puncture through mild steel. You can only use those black gypsum screw. Whereas for our panels, because they have high screw holding capacity, you can screw any sort of fastener into it, even like foundation bolts. And because that's possible, you do not have limitation of framing as well. So if you're doing a warehouse, or if you have to do like a suspended ceiling where you need the frame to take a lot more weight, you can go for mild steel, you can go for aluminum. You don't have to restrict yourself to just GI framing. The third application that I mentioned was door. So we have a basic door in 25, 30, and 35 mm thickness. And when you do 1 mm, 1 mm lamination, you then have 27, 32, and 37 mm thick door. Our doors come in two varieties, basic door and fireproof door. And again, as I said, if you use our doors in any building, along with being fireproof, they will also end up absorbing sound, because often you'll see that in theater studios, when you're doing a soundproofing, even your door needs to be able to absorb sound and act as a sound or a noise barrier. So that's again an added performance that our panels give, besides just being a board that you can use. This again is the picture of the fire rated door. You can do paint on it. You can do lamination on it. That is the case with most flush doors. In the first picture, the cabinet that you see and even the baffle ceilings that you see are again done with our panels with wooden finish. Fourth is the application of furniture. Now in furniture, the advantage that a architect or a furniture manufacturer gets, besides it's just having good screw holding capacity, is that these are even grade. They have the lowest VOC emission. Now, if you're designing a building as an architect for school, I think that's a great USP, because nowadays a lot of schools, a lot of hospitals are concerned about the indoor air quality, because along with outside air quality, we spend around 90% of our time in indoor spaces. So it's extremely important to be sure that the materials that we are using don't emit any volatile organic compounds or carcinogenic chemicals. And that's where we have the lowest VOC against any material in India. And fourth, I always like to use this phrase that what our panels provide is the versatility of MDF and the durability of ply, which means that they are much more dense than MDF on a standard. They have better screw holding capacity. And at the same time, you can do all the work with a panel that you can do with MDF. So you can putty on it, you can duco paint, you can polish, you can wood stain, you can do CNC cutting, you can make jali out of it. All of those features are possible on a panel similar to MDF, which is a limitation in ply, but similar to ply, you can use it in areas where you need more strength, such as wardrobe, bed, and wet area. So you're not compromising on either thing, whether it's the durability factor or it is the aesthetics. This is a small picture of a furniture that a design studio called Mo Studio based out of Gurgaon did, where they made the rest of the furniture with a panel using laminate finish, and the front face they kept it raw. Just to, again, as I said, some of our clients like to showcase that they're using a sustainable material, and even the end user feel good knowing that's the case. These are again some of the pictures of the furniture. So the first and the second picture, as you can see, is of a very regular furniture. You would not even know if I don't tell you that these are made of the AgriBio panel. And as you can see, you achieve the very standard finish that any furniture has. So it's not that it's going to stand out in terms of aesthetic, but it will stand out in terms of its durability and its long-lasting performance. Again, these are some storage cabinets made out of our panels. The second is a picture of a Oyo Hotel in Noida that used a panel. This is from a model that we did for Chai Point in Delhi in one of the cafes in SDA. And the other is a picture of an end user in the house who went ahead and used our panels to make their TV cabinet. And on top of the cabinet, they put veneer and they polished that veneer. So they used our 18 and 25 panel for that application. As you can see, you can easily put all your rollers, any sort of things that, you know, those standard furniture accessories are, all of them can be installed on our panels as well. What are the limitations of AgriBio panels in terms of application? So based on the density of the panels that we have, the limitation of a panel is that you cannot use it in raw form in exterior application, which means that if there's an exterior facade of the building and you're using a premium panel, it has to have a coating on top of it of putty paint, and then it can be used. Otherwise, in interior application, there is no limitation. You can use it raw, as I have shown in some of the projects, in furniture or in ceiling, or you can do any sort of finishes as possible. But in exterior facade, there needs to be a coating because it shouldn't be directly exposed to monsoon. It can be exposed to moisture. That's not a problem. These are three main sort of customers that we have. We cater mostly to a lot of hospitals, to a lot of architects and designers who are building hospitals, schools, warehouses, and offices. This is a picture of a warehouse that we did in Bhubaneswar, which is called Iron Mountain, where all the walling that you see on the interior side, which is white in color, all of those standalone partitions through which the electrical wiring is running is again made out of our panels. This is a picture of the partition that we did in the same warehouse. Now the height of this warehouse was 50 feet from floor to the rafter, and they used our pre-laminated panels. As you can see, each of those panels, they are 6 feet in height, and the length of that is 13. So we put it in the different, you know, like landscape mode instead of portrait. So 6 by 13. And that's what we did. We screwed them directly to the MS frame, and they saved their time on painting. And this was in total, if I remember it correct, it was around 56,000 square feet of partition that we did on 4 sides for the client. They were able to achieve their 2-hour fire NOC, and the whole work was done in less than a month. And the other USP of the application is that usually when the clients these days have to achieve fire NOC in warehouses and they're using a drywall material, they often use 2 sheets on one side of the frame. So they do like a 10 mm and a 12 mm of a fiber cement board on both sides, because these boards usually have 45 1-hour rating. But as I mentioned, since we have 2-hour fire rating, by using the premium panel, the client just had to use one single 12 mm panel on both sides of the frame. So just 24 mm of a panel instead of 48, and they could achieve their fire NOC. This is the picture from the Heritage School project in Gurgaon that I mentioned, where we did the acoustic work from them. So the system that we built was on the existing brick wall. We first built a framing, 2-inch framing that was again made out of our panels. So instead of using GI framing or wood, we cut 2-inch, 3-inch studs out of a 30 mm panel, and we made a 600 mm grid frame that you can see slightly in this area. That's the frame. Behind the frame, we have high tensile black fabric, 1-inch air gap, 1-inch insulation, and then on top of that, we put up perforated acoustic panels. And the client wanted two sort of finishes. They wanted a combination of laminate and fabric. So we used a fire retardant acoustic fabric, as well as the laminate, which was the brown shade laminate is from Greenlam, and the gray one is from Merino. And that is the combination of the wall that we built for them. This was again up to the height of 23 feet for them. These are again different pictures from different angles of the same heritage multi-purpose hall that we built. That white door is again made out of a panel, and that's white laminate on top of it. This is a project that we did for hospital, where the partition that you see here is made out of our panels. There's a GI framing. On both sides of the GI framing, there is 12 mm HD panel. Now, in this case, the client said that they don't want just putty paint finish. They want a customized finish where half of the wall is putty paint and the rest of it had a marble look. So what we did, we gave them a pre-laminated marble finish up to 900 mm. The rest of it, we did regular putty paint that you would do on a gypsum wall. And on the top also is the false ceiling that you see is of our panels, which was pre-finished white. And the doors as well here, both the doors in the picture are made out of our panel. You can easily mount a window in the partition. These were 5 mm glass that was used. And this was done around 35,000 square feet on 2 floors, the ground floor and the ICU floor of the hospital, where the client used our panels. Again, some of the pictures of various projects. As you can see, you do the putty paint very similar to how you do it on the gypsum. So the application by a carpenter or a skilled contractor doesn't need any upskilling. If you have a gypsum contractor, if you ask them, they can paint on our panels. A regular carpenter who has worked with MDF and ply can work with our panels, same cutting tools, same beat, same screws. They don't need to buy any special sort of hardware or equipment. Can you throw some light on the cost factor? Of course, I'll do that. So as I explained the application, I'll give some of the example of pricing based on the different application. And then later, if some of you who are architects and designers, if they're interested, you can write to us and we can also send you our complete exhaustive rate list. So for instance, if I come to furniture application, our 18 mm basic panel cost 55 rupees per square feet. On comparison to a Century commercial grade panel, the MRP in the market is somewhere around 60 or 70 rupees. Our fire rated partition panels are for 12 mm is for 45 rupees, whereas a 12 mm fire rated fiber cement board or very few brands that do fire rated gypsum, such as international brands such as Shera and all, their 12 mm panels are for 60 and 65 rupees again. Our basic flush door is for 135 rupees per square feet, both side laminated, pre-lamination, which means a 7x3 door you can get for 2,800 rupees. The GST on all our products is 12%. That's again something that I want to call out, because on all engineered building material, the GST is 18%. But the government has given us a lower GST because we are using a waste and we are making green material. So that's additional 6% savings that an end user or a builder or a vendor can have. And maintenance of the agri piles in the long term.
Sorry to interrupt you. So one of our participants is like kind of asking you to repeat the rates again.
Sure. So the rate of our doors, what I'll do, I'll also write it in the chat while I speak. So rate of a regular flush door is 135 rupees per square feet. Cost of a 12 mm basic panel is 45 rupees per square feet. Our 18 mm basic panel is for 55 rupees per square feet. Our GST is 12%. And the rate of all the thicknesses and all the grades, as I said, I can share the rate list later with the participants. Sorry, I was explaining the second part of the question. The maintenance of the panels in long term. So based on the application is the maintenance. So if you're using a panels for false ceiling, then similar to gypsum, all you need to do is after a period of 5 to 7 years, maybe redo the painting. the finish on it. But the basic panel, we give a minimum warranty of 10 years. So we don't think there should be any problem with your false ceiling for 15 to 20 years. Furniture, same thing, since we give panels that have high water or moisture resistance capacity. Even if you're using it in a kitchen or a wet area like a washroom for cabinet, 10 years is minimum warranty. A fireproof panel, since they have 2-hour fire rating. So if you have an NOC, there shouldn't be a concern. Even if you're talking to the government, they shouldn't be worried about it. And the maintenance of these panels is very similar to your basic drywall material, such as gypsum, fiber cement board, ply. So, it's a simple standard thing. You keep it in a dry area, you screw it on, the face, not the edges. Those are the standard maintenance condition. There is no exceptional maintenance that you need to do. So when we'll be sending you the rate sheet, if you want that, we'll also send you the basic warranty terms and condition as well as the basic guidelines. So all of those points are mentioned there. This is one slide where I want to call out on why our panels are healthy. So there's one aspect where we are saying we are a sustainable material, and the other is where we are saying we are a much more healthier non-toxic material. So this is a test done by IPIRTI, Indian Plywood Research Lab based out of Bangalore, where, as you can see, a 12 AgriBio panel was used, and when it was tested for 7 different gases that are high on toxicity rate, their presence was either 0 or less than 0 point something in presence in 100 gram sample. So overall, the toxicity of a panel is lowest. You can compare it with an MDF, a ply, or a fiber cement board. Next time, actually, if you're talking to a brand, I would encourage architects and designers to ask if the brands have these toxicity index tests done or not, because that actually governs how much better would the indoor air quality of your building be. And as you can see, the formaldehyde content is mentioned, which should be less than 8 for a building material, and ours is 4.79. And so according to the IS 3067, the panels conform to an E1 standard, which I earlier mentioned, for formaldehyde presence. These are the different tests that we have gotten done. Toxicity, standard mechanical properties such as screw holding capacity, breaking load, longitudinal, lateral, how much pressure it can take, 24, 48 hour moisture resistant test. Our breaking load, I would just like to call out, it's not visible here. We can separately send the test certificates. Our breaking load value is 17.82 megapascal. For gypsum, it is 5.71. So it is more than 3 times the amount of strength that the panels have. So you don't have to be concerned at all if, a screw will it hold to a framing. It's any day going to be much more dimensionally stable when it is exposed to any conditions in a building. We have fire rating testing already done. We have also gotten from Kevin Labs the thermal insulation testing done for conductivity. So all the basic standard testing that an architect might require is already in place. This is the website of Archihive, where our panels are already listed, and soon we'll put more information on the website.
Can I just elaborate?
Yeah, sure, please.
So yeah, guys, by the time you put up more questions, we are open for questions now. We'll like to tell you a little about Archihive. So AgriBio panels is already on Archihive. You can find their products here. You can find all their certificates, rates, everything related to their products, and much more products on Archihive. So you can download our app from the Play Store. It is available for both iOS and Android, and you can have a look at the app. We are in process, and we are looking at a lot of feedbacks, and we are improvising on our app. But you can definitely visit our app for the same and put up your questions. We are taking up all questions at the end. Yeah, Shruti, yes, if you have to say anything more.
No, I'm good. Yeah. So we will be available. We are available on the platform, and we'll try to put as much information as possible there.
Can we go to the next slide? I think we have your.
Yeah, so that's our contact details. That's my phone number, my email address. I'll just put one more email address in the chat box where you can directly mail me as well. If you have any further questions, we can send you our technical presentation where similar information is there, much more pictures of our executed projects. Any comparison with wood, plastic, composite? Sure, Sajan. So our panels, as I mentioned, is equally durable as a wood plastic composite, because often why people use a wood plastic composite versus ply or MDF is because it is termite proof, which we have already taken care of. And when it comes to pricing, I would say from a WPC, we are any day 30 to 35% cost effective. And lastly, a wood plastic composite is a very toxic product, to be honest, because it is made out of polymer and other composites. So it's not at all biodegradable or eco-friendly. So I think whether it comes to durability, performance, pricing, and as I said, you can get it in pre-lamination features. So all of that is taken care already for a reason for which you might be going for a WPC. You can easily make your kitchen cabinets out of our panels that you do with WPC. Because of the high screw holding capacity, all of those door shutters, those rollers can easily be installed. Is it all available in India? Sure. So we, till last year, we were directly providing a material to architects and end users from a factory. And from this year onwards, we already have presence in North and South India. So in South India, in more than 11 cities, you can directly purchase a material going forward from January. We going to have a distributor in each of those cities, which include Chennai, Bangalore, Visakhapatnam, Cochin, all of the major cities in South India. In North India as well, it is directly available. And if you have a large order quantity, you can just directly place order to us and we'll directly send it to the site. So it's available pan India. We have done projects pan India. Even right now at the current point, as I'm speaking, our material is being used in 8 different states right now. So it's easily available. Which material is used for jointing the sheet? So
just hold on. Yeah. So we have few questions before this that we'll just address them as well, because we might miss out on that. So one of the question was about the durability. Can you throw some light on the durability of this product?
Sure. So as I mentioned, whenever you're talking about the durability of a product, you usually garner the durability out of, especially for the applications that I mentioned, is if it has good screw holding strength, if it has good density, if it has good compressive strength and moisture resistant capacity, that decides the durability of an interior building material. And all of those conditions are taken care of according to the IS standard. And that is why we offer warranty as well on a material. And easily you can use it for 30 to 40 years for any interior application. We don't see any problem in that.
Okay.
To answer Siddharth's question, what material do we use for jointing the sheet? So Siddharth, as I mentioned, our panels work very similar to gypsum and fiber cement board in application. So the same fiber mesh, same jointing compound is used to even joint our panel. So if you have used gypsum in the past or fiber cement board, you can use the same fiber mesh and jointing compound. It works on our panels. You don't need to buy a special jointing compound. So the regular compound available in a hardware store works on our panel as well.
Okay. Shruti, we have a few more questions. One of the question was, how do you make it fireproof? Like what element in the material makes it fireproof?
So the element that makes a panel fireproof is the inherent silica presence in straw, which is a natural fire retardant. And that when the panel is compressed at a high temperature, is secreted and creates a coating on the straw, which is why our panels are fire rated. And we don't add any extra chemical to make it fire rated inherently. The manufactured panel has no extra coating to make it fire resistant. Any special adhesive is required? No, Siddharth, all standard adhesive. So if you're putting a laminate on a panel, you use your standard Fevicol. If you're using it for partition, you use the standard jointing putty compound. You use this standard, putty primer paint. All our painting applications that clients have done, they've gone for regular Asian paint, Nerolac, all the regular brands. You don't need a special paint. You don't need a special Fevicol. It's the same in our case that it is for other building material. Can we apply it as a flooring? Yes, Divya, mezzanine flooring is one of our application. And if you have an office flooring, if you have a mezzanine flooring or raised flooring, you can use it. Going forward, by the end of next year, or hopefully in 6 months from next year itself, we'll be able to offer another product which will be good to apply directly on a concrete floor, which we are making with a special adhesive. We are making that adhesive in-house. And once we make that adhesive, our panels will have a moisture absorption capacity of less than 1%. after being soaked in water for 24 hours. And then you can directly use our panels like a hardwood flooring directly on a concrete floor, and it would work. So soon we will have a panel for direct flooring application. But for now, if you are using it for a warehouse or a raised flooring over a steel frame or a wooden frame, you can use our panels. Does fixing these sheets need specially skilled labor? So any skilled carpenter who you would hire to make your, furniture or plaster or partition ceiling, the same carpenter or drywall contractor can do this. They themselves don't need to have any special skill set. Can the material hold beading like brass or steel beadings? So yes, Dinesh, it can hold beading. So for example, door is a very good example. So when you're doing a door application, you can do all sort of standard edge binding, PVC, wooden, hardwood, pine, teak, all sort of those beadings can be done. Can you focus on heat transfer? So as I mentioned earlier, our panels have very low thermal conductivity, which means that whether it is summers or winters, there is less heat transfer. The material is capable of holding the heat, which is why it is a better thermally insulated panel. Our thermal conductivity value, just a second, is 0.062. So it is very good thermal insulator if you use it in any area, especially high, heat or cold geography such as Uttarakhand, Northeast, Bhuj, Bikaner, all of these locations, this will any day give you much more better thermal insulation. Frame size for flooring. So standard size for framing, for flooring is usually a 600 mm by 600 mm steel deck. That's the spacing of the pipes. And on top of that, you can use our 25 mm panel. And those panels will easily provide you a minimum 500 kg per square meter, unified distributed load capacity. What is the weight?
Moving ahead, can we just change the slide so we tell them about reaching out to us as well?
Sure.
Yeah. So guys, put up your questions. We are taking this Q&A for some time more, but you can always reach out to Archihive also for more such materials and details about it with us. Okay, you have your details on the screen. Yes, Shruti, we can go to the next question. I think, okay, what is the weight capacity and
yes,
weight?
I've also written it in the chat box. The weight of a basic panel is 0.9 kg per square feet. And the weight of our premium panels is 1 kg per square feet. Compare the weight with normal ply. So for instance, if you, let's say, compare it with an 8x4 sheet, a basic panel will weigh you anywhere around, just a minute, like 28 kgs. So our standard board sizes is 10 feet by 6 feet, 13 feet by 6 feet. And yes, it can be customized. So as you saw in the pictures, if you need it for fall ceiling, we can do you 2x2, we can do 6x6, we can do 4x6. If you're using it for walling, 10 feet is the clear height in 99% of the buildings. And width, you actually prefer the standard size than customized. But for partition, we can do that. And for furniture as well, if a furniture manufacturer is using a panel, we recommend them to take 10x6 because I don't have that sheet here, but I'll add it to my standard presentation that if you're making a standard size bed, like a queen or a king, or standard furniture sizes, you'll realize that using a 10x6 actually reduces your wastage versus using an 8x4. So we have made this comparison sheet where for all sort of furniture application, we have shown what is the reduction in wastage of the board if you use a 10x6. So customizable is definitely possible. Even we do a lot of unique shapes. So for acoustics, we do hexagons, we do polygons, acoustic clouds, and we do baffles as well. So of course, for a unique project, we can do customization because we have in-house cutting machine and lamination machine. So that is possible, not a problem.
Okay. There is one more question we had. Will the panels behave the same? Will the panels have the same properties even after painting or polishing?
Yeah, so you can easily paint and polish the panels. Now, let's say if you're using, regular Duco paint. So similar to MDF, you can paint on our panels. You'll achieve the same seamless finish that you achieve on MDF. That is completely possible. As you saw in some of the pictures of the walls, It looks like a regular wall in that hospital in DFI. It looks like a gypsum wall. So that is not at all possible. Yes, CNC cutting is possible, Sajjan. You can do any kind of perforation, grooves, slats, cutting in our panels. Is it moldable for furniture? So currently the panels are not moldable because our minimum density is 700 kg per cubic meter. But going forward, we are doing R&D on coming up with some low density panels made out of straw, which will have density somewhere between 450 to 500 kg per cubic meter. And once we are able to achieve that, then yes, the panels can also be moldable. You can have that sort of like, curve to it.
Okay, Siddharth is asking, is there any chemical or acidic effect to the...
No, there is no chemical or acidic effect. As I mentioned, our panels only use one chemical to bind it, which is also in 4% by volume, which is already an even certified chemical. So we have the lowest chemical emission out of a panel, and there is no acidic value because all of the toxic chemicals that are there, they are hardly present or it's negligible. So it's lowest when it comes to any chemical, presence or VOC emission.
Okay, we had one question previously regarding pest concerns. Are there any pest concerns?
20 hours.
So as I mentioned, when we manufacture the panels, we do take measures to add chemicals to make it termite and pest proof. We do that. We do that in the manufacturing stage as well. Chemicals affect the sheet. Okay, sorry, didn't get your question, Siddharth. So no, we haven't seen any effect on the panel because of chemical, because specifically in hospital application, when people use any sort of drywall or brick material, the walls need to be made out of materials where you do all sort of cleaning, from the hygiene point of view. And our clients have done that on the panels, and there's no issue on the panels because of that.
Okay, do we have any more questions, guys? You can put up your questions. We are here for you. Can the material be curved or made flexible after making slits?
So yes, if you make too many slits out of the panel, or you do too many perforation, of course, the panel will reduce in its density. It will become a low density material. And if that's the case, then yes, there is flexibility to it. Yes, so especially for acoustics, that is something that is possible. So when we do a lot of perforation in our panels, if I go, let me see if I can go back to this slide. So if you look at the acoustic panel, for example, we have done a lot of, very close perforation in them, where the distance between two of the perforation is less than 6 mm for that matter. So this at the end of then became a very low density panel. And yes, then there's more flexibility to it. Hi, Janani. No, you do not require any special paint. All the regular brands, Asian, Nerolac, is the paints that we have used. We have used Touchwood, the standard, PU polish that is used by other material, standard Asian wood stain. So all standard brands, no special paints or accessories. So when we do paint on it, Mahesh, we do paint on it similar to how painting is done on MDF, where you first create a base, then you primer it, and then you paint. So as long as you follow that procedure, you can paint it, and we haven't observed that it necessarily absorbs more paint. That's not the case, because it's higher density. So if it's low density and it's more porous, then it would absorb more paint, but that's not the case. Any sort of degradation. So currently the panels that we make, Siddharth, since it has 4% chemical in it, it is not biodegradable. It doesn't degrade. But we are doing R&D on a E0 panel, which we'll come out with soon, which will be E0 using a bioadhesive. And once that's the case, then the panels will be biodegradable. And you can actually, literally after its usage in 6 to 7 months, it will not be existing on the planet. But there's no basic degradation if it is lying on the site or you're using it in any application. That's not the case.
Okay, I think this was quite informative. Guys, we are still here for like another 5 minutes maybe. You can drop in your questions.
It's Delhi-based company, Divya, but the material is also available in Mumbai, Bangalore, all of these major cities, but we are based out of Delhi.
Okay, there's a question. Can we use it for cold storage purpose?
So yes, you can use it for cold storage purposes with another insulation lining because our panels have 0.0262 thermal conductivity. And if you use it with a lining of glass wool or a rock wool, you'll be able to achieve a very good insulation property equivalent to a puff for that matter. Yes. But because if you're aware of puff panels, so those are ready-made panels where it is a system which just comes and gets installed. So we are in the process of building a solution where the insulation lining is already binded with the panels on both sides, and it's a ready-made sort of wall that can just come and be installed, and that should work for cold storages. We don't see any reason why it will not.
So yes, I think we've covered most of the part. Guys, if you have any more questions, we are always here. You have contact details of Shruti as well as Aki Hive both. And yeah, I guess we can wrap up this session. I hope you all had a great time. This was very informative. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here
Thank
with us.
you.
Okay, yes, Mahesh, you will get all the updates regarding our next topics. Please follow us on our Instagram. You will get all the updates. Yes, we are doing a lot of events. So keep following us. That's what I can say for now. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shruti.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Please join us for future events. Thank you, guys.
I've put the website link as well, www.structure.com. If you go on the website, you can directly go to our Instagram and LinkedIn, all of our pages, and you can also order the sample from the website. So for all people in the construction ecosystem, such as builders, architects, designers, furniture manufacturers, you can order a free sample and we directly send it to all our requests.